What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Kevin Svenson, and today we're going to be discussing the crypto market and, of course, the price of Bitcoin. So not all too much has been happening over the past few days. It's actually been 4 days since I've uploaded a video because I really just haven't felt the need to upload a video. In my past multiple videos, we discussed that we are on this channel very confident that Bitcoin has found at least a medium-term low point, if not a long-term low point, based on the weekly volume signature. So we're going to be discussing that. In my last video, we actually went over the definition of a bull market and a bear market and why Bitcoin is by definition still in a bull market. And also in the short term, we do have some interesting price action taking place. Also, it's raining outside, so you might hear some rain over the video. So looking at the long-term chart, the weekly chart, we now have a more than a year-long upward sloping macro trend line. So remember, trend lines are like narratives. And as long as we're holding a macro upward sloping trend line, then we do still have a bullish narrative that is intact. And technically, it is still a bull market as long as we're seeing a steady increase in price over time, right? Over a long period of time. If we just keep seeing higher lows here, right? Even if we came out of that trend line, as long as we're still seeing higher lows, a steady increase in price over time, then I would say we're still in a bull market. That is the definition of a bull market, right? But if Bitcoin does see a major break below 30,000, a major break below the trend line here, and we see lower lows, I would call this destructive price action, and this would actually lean me more towards, looking to be a little bit more bearish for the next many months. But for now, as long as we're holding the trend line, it's looking pretty good, guys. And also, for those of you that have been paying attention to my Twitter feed, we hop over to the Twitter feed here. What I've been showing you guys on Twitter is this right here, the inverted hammer candle. We had this inverted hammer show up on the last weekly. I made this post before the weekly candle closed. And now we're actually seeing that play out. We're getting some continuation up. So that weekly bullish reversal indication is starting to play out at least a little bit. Looking at the 4-hour chart now for Bitcoin, a lot of people are seeing that we are getting a break above this short-term structure, this short-term symmetrical triangle. Though we're not really out of the woods just yet. Not out of the woods just yet. We have to get above, of course, 40K and 42K, 40,000 being an area that we've already had a lot of problems with before, right? And even 42K as well. And this 40 to 42K resistance does stem back to January of the beginning of the year when we hit 42K. So this is obviously going to be the point that we need to get above, guys, right? So if we can clear these points, 40 and ultimately 42, I think that getting above 42 is probably the most significant thing. Just because I know a lot of analysts and a lot of traders are saying that they're kind of going to be on the fence until we break 42. And once we get above 42, then they're going to start buying again. Even though I personally think that the weekly volume of that 30K low was enough for me to buy the dip. That major weekly volume indication was a big enough volume spike for me to think that it is going to be at least a medium-term low point. These indications rarely fail me as a market top or market bottom, right? Even back here, So for me, it's a low point, at least for now, seems likely. And if we clear 42, a lot of people are going to start speculating on the market, right? Bullish speculators will step in on a break above 42,000. So that's really the big moment there. And, for now, we're not out of the woods just yet, right? It's looking like the bulls may be regaining control, but we'll see. Of course, we could still range down to the bottom of this area and do nothing for quite a long time. That is also a strong possibility. We're still stuck in between major support and major resistance. Although you guys know, long term, I think we're still in a bull market. Long term, I think we're going to maintain the bullish narrative. And if you're looking at the halving cycle narrative, if you're someone that follows stock to flow and Bitcoin's traditional halvings, we're still pretty much on track. We're almost at the exact same point that we were in the last bull market in terms of the first major weekly correction, about 370 days after the halving for both cycles so far. So we're kind of on track. Our rebound so far has been a little bit slow, right? A little bit slow. Hopefully we can get a close for this weekly above 42,000. If Bitcoin does close this weekly above 42,000, that would probably end up ushering in some more bullish moves to the upside. And from there, we'll have to see, if we create a lower high, or if we can maintain the upward sloping trend line, maintain the bullish narrative before recovering later on, maybe in, looking for July to be a time when we might be looking to test back up to the previous high, or find out if we are in an actual bear market, right? Sustained decrease in price. That's what a bear market means. Right now it is technically a bull market. So that is my overall view. You guys know my thoughts at this point. I think we're at least at some type of a bottom, whether it's just multi-month or we actually continue the bull market from here. So we'll see. Short term, a lot of people have their eye on the short term. We'll see if we get any actual confirmations. So far, we're just below resistance, but it's looking like the bulls may be regaining some control. So that's nice to see. Hope you guys enjoyed this update, and I'll see you all in the next one.